Hi, this is Rika. I decided to make another video again today. I wanted to talk to you about, again, my the beginning stages of when I started questioning and wanting to know more and what was going on with me and trying to understand myself. And yeah, when I had a lot of questions, the first person I actually became aware of was Doreen Virtue. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of her and probably subscribed to her YouTube channel as well. She was actually the very first person that I had heard of. Uh, this was quite a few years ago. Um, and I actually went to Value Village. It's kind of like a thrift store up here in Toronto. And the first book I got that actually came to me was Divine Guidance: How to Communicate, How to Have a Dialogue with God and Your Guardian Angels by Doreen Virtue. This was, I guess, one of her first earlier books that she published. That book actually helped me a lot um, in understanding that, yeah, you know, we get signs and we get signs like every day from our angels, from God, from the creator, um, from the universe. Like there's always messages being sent to us, but the only thing is if we're kind of like centered in or zoned in to receive them. And for me, I am receiving them, but I've been kind of lacking in my meditating area. I've been lacking a lot because a lot of things that I've been going through in my life right now, but I'm actually starting to change my routines and, start a new routine, something better, healthier for myself. But yes, that was one of the very first books that described and helped me know that I was also psychic as well as an empath. Um, and there was clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, um, and I forgot the other ones. But like I said, I did. I when I was younger, I've seen spirits. I've heard spirits. Um, yeah, I've seen like just loved ones that have passed away. Um, this was like when I was really young. The first spirit I actually saw was my grandfather, which was my dad's dad that passed away. I saw him, and he was the first one. I was very scared. I was young. I was scared, but he was the first spirit I saw. The second spirit was my sister. She was my sister, my older sister. She, yeah, she passed away. I was very close with her, and she passed away when I was in high school, and that really affected me a lot. Like I was so close with her, I loved her so much, and that really affected me. Um, and after that, I've seen my cat. Her name was Fluffy. When she passed away, when we were as well, I think in high school, elementary school, no, high school, she passed away. Um, and yeah, it was high school or elementary school, anyways. But I seen her spirit, like she was a very old cat. My older brother had bought her when she was a kitten, so she's been around she was like 18 years, something like that, 18 years old. She was a very old cat. She was a third kind of animal spirit that I actually saw. Um, and I was for me, like seeing spirits, kind of, I'm not really, I kind of don't want to see them. So, kind of scares me still. I'm trying to get used to stuff. A lot of what I do get now is the high pitched sound in my ears. Um, there was one night that I actually heard the high pitched sound in my ears, and I talked out loud and said, "Okay, you know, angels, I, I hear you, but it's a high pitched sound. Can you make it something like something like in English, you know, clear sounding in English?" And then I heard humming in both of my ears. So I kind of understood that, you know, at least I'm making some sort of communication there. Every time I look at my cell phone, I'm always seeing 111, 222, 1212, 1111. And I realize that, yeah, my angels are talking to me. And I try to um, remember exactly what I'm thinking at those moments, like when I see these numbers on my phone or on my computer or wherever it is. Because I've noticed that once I continue to be in a more positive frame of mind, a more positive state of being, um, is when I receive like more messages. Sometimes when I do pray, I ask for answer. You know, I do ask for answers or signs, and sometimes it's like in the conversations that people, like, all of a sudden I'll just hear something that, you know, basically answers what I prayed for. You know, sometimes I have dreams and they answer what I've prayed for. Um, or questions I've asked, I mean. But there's a lot of, I've noticed a lot of my prayers have been coming true, and which is really great. I'm happy because, you know what, it's, you know, sometimes I doubt myself, but when things, my prayers are answered, and even without, you know, and I bring myself back up to that more positive frame of mind, find a positive frame of being, um, I notice my vibration gets higher, and I can receive more messages. But the only thing is, I do need to start meditating. The actual first meditation that I started doing, it was an actual free class that they had in the Carrot Common, and it was mantra meditation. It's part of the Hinduism religion, and you would say Gora Anga. You take a deep breath in, and while you're taking the deep breath in, you say Gora Anga. And when you're going to release the breath, you kind of you stretch out the word. So you're like Goranga, but you stretch it out right like that. And the second part is you say Ni Tai Gor. And when you take a deep breath in, you say it in your head, and when you breathe it out, you stretch out that word, right? So you're like Ni Tai Gor, right? And I started, that was the very first meditation that I actually started, and I started that after moving out of my parents' house, and when I got my first place. I was feeling very stressed at my work, and, you know, I just wanted things to change and get better. Back then, I was also, uh, you know, using other stimulants. I would say just, you know, marijuana. And I don't smoke anymore because I've noticed for my experience, for myself, but everyone is different. When I started praying a lot more and meditating, and once I smoked, it started having a reverse effect on me. So I started getting even more paranoid, and I did not like that feeling that I was getting. So I actually stopped smoking weed altogether. I kind of smoked it to make me sleep more than anything else, because I was smoking for quite a while. But I stopped that and I started praying and I started meditating, and it was so fun. It was just an example of how I know that when I started focusing and meditating, I was living in a basement apartment, and I ended up getting, I set a goal to move into an apartment building, and, a nice one bedroom apartment and big windows and everything. And it actually came to me. And I moved from the basement apartment to the 11th floor corner unit. Beautiful. This is like $1 million view of downtown Toronto. That's after I started meditating and meditating every day. It takes a while to start meditating again. Like I started at my first when I first started meditating for 15 minutes. That's all I could do. It's really hard at first because your brain, there's so many thoughts that keep running in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out of your mind. But once you continue to do that, and I started meditating just like once a day, and once you like continue doing this every day, 15 minutes and then 15 minutes, and then you bring it up to maybe like 20 minutes and then half an hour, right? Like it's a slow process. And it's not bam, you get it right away, depending on how you are. Some people get it right away, some people don't. But once I started meditating, I noticed that I felt more relaxed. A lot of things didn't bother me as much as they did before when I wasn't meditating. I felt a lot happier. I felt relaxed. I felt centered. And my dreams, I guess I was maybe traveling back in time, because I started dreaming of like Egyptian stuff, and it was it was very, very nice. It was very nice. Like, I just felt relaxed. And like I said, I did mention in my first video, I pay attention to my dreams because I've come to realize once I dream of certain things, this means something bad is going to happen or something is wrong. Once I dream of other things, that means, maybe I'm going to win some money, a little bit of money, or I'm going to hear something good, or right? It's just different things like that, right? Just to give you an example, and this is when I was still meditating in my basement, I dreamt that both of my sisters, my younger sister and my older sister, were pregnant. And come to find out a little while later, my sister was pregnant and they were trying to hide it from me. Well, she was trying to hide it from me because I was always telling her, like, just wait before you have kids and make sure, it's the right person. My dad is a very wise person and I love my dad. I'm daddy's little girl, but I love my dad. I learned a lot from my dad as well. He's always just like, some people have form but no substance, which means like they're just all about the external, and they have nothing mentally inside their head. There's no knowledge, no, like, you can't have a conversation with these people. All they know is just material things. But when you have someone that has form and substance, it's like they have natural outside beauty. They have internal beauty as well. And that was one of the most important things that my dad ever taught me. It's not about always external. External doesn't last forever. Your outer looks don't last forever. Some of us are lucky. We're blessed with good young genes. Some of us, it's they picked the wrong line or something. But that's one thing I've always appreciated and kept with me from my dad. My dad also was always saying, nothing but good shall come to me, and nothing but good shall come from me. My dad doesn't realize it, but he's a very spiritual person. He's very spiritual. And I wanted to give you an example of this. My dad recently had made a trip to South Africa. I knew that my dad had to, I had this feeling on the inside, my dad had to take this trip. It was good for him to make this trip. My dad is the very first person out of all our family, out of all the generations, to make it back to the motherland of Africa. My dad is originally from Guyana. He is the very first person to make it back to the motherland. And that reminded me of the Book of Negroes. And that's another book that I actually read. My little sister passed it on to my dad to read and passed it on to me to read. And my dad doing this, basically, this trip, it was good for him, but it helped everybody else in our family. It helped me because this is like something different, something new. That's a whole change. Like my dad is up there, and I was happy for him, but this kind of made me stop. It made me think. It made me like, you know, him just going back there. It was just amazing for him at his age to travel there. But mind you, my dad is very healthy. He's from the islands, and people from the islands exercise, eat well. You know, it's very different. They have a healthier, more laid back, nicer style of life. But my dad taking this trip, it just changed me. It just made me want to, it just something else opened up inside of me. I can't really describe it or explain it, but that kind of pushed me even more to want to learn tarot, to read cards. And the next thing that I actually want to do is I would really like to become a Reiki master. I want to learn Reiki for myself, and I also want to learn Reiki to heal other people. That's another part of my spiritual journey that I feel that I feel like I'm supposed to help other people. I'm supposed to help people. I'm supposed to heal people. The universe, God using me as a tool to heal people, to help people be happier in life, to help people enjoy life, to help people, naturally heal themselves, naturally cure themselves, naturally just be naturally high without using any type of substances or, artificial stuff or chemical stuff or whatever it is, right? Just to enjoy life, to appreciate life. You know, I've experienced, all the deaths that I've experienced in my life on this earth. It's really made me appreciate life more. I appreciate everyone. It doesn't matter whether they live on the street, whether they're, you know, I I find that people who live on the street or people who are more or less fortunate have more respect for me and appreciate me more. They're the kindest people that I encounter every day. There are other, and don't get me wrong, there are a lot of other people who are, a little bit more well off in life, but I'm kind of somebody that everyone just talks to, everyone just naturally gravitates to me, naturally just wants to talk to me. I just have that, I do. I have that energy that kind of draws people into me. And I actually had one customer tell me that too, as well, at my work. She was just like, you have a very good energy, and people will come if I do get into Reiki. And if once I do start my other projects and goals that I have for myself, that they will come. And I do believe they will come. Because there's a lot of people who even said to me, if I was a psychiatrist, they would come to me. They would want me to be their doctor and help them. It's just the simplest things that you can say to people that will change their whole day. People ask me every day, like, how you're always smiling. Every time I see you're always smiling. You know what? Being happy is a choice. You can choose to be happy or you can choose to be upset. And I choose to be happy. It takes a lot of energy to be angry, to be upset takes so much energy and it weakens you. So I choose to be happy every day. That is a secret to me smiling every single day. No matter what's going on in my life, it could be really bad and I'm smiling. My mom, she I was working 7 days a week, going to my mom's appointments, visiting my mom after work, 7 days a week, and I still went to work with a smile on my face. I was watching my mother die in front of my eyes, slowly. That's the hardest thing you can ever experience as it's the hardest thing to ever experience and watch. Myself and my sisters were actually with my mother when she passed. And it's the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing. It's hard to experience it, but you just do it. I just do it. I just keep going. It was very hard. But I just kept going. And that's how I know and I feel in my heart. That's when I know that God's with me. That's how I know that, he made me a strong person. It's like no matter what I went through, I was still going. I still keep going. I've had so many disappointments in my life, but I still kept going. I just still kept going. I still kept getting up every day, going to work, and saying thank you for letting me live to see another day. Thank you for letting me have a job. Thank you for letting me have a place. Thank you for letting me have food. It's the little things you have to appreciate. Thank you for blessing me with a healthy body. Thank you. Just every little thing. Thank you for having a great day today. Thank you for letting me make someone else's day, right? These are all the little things that count. And everybody, because of how this world is, this three-dimensional world that we live in is, it just makes you focus on external beauty, the external, buying expensive clothes, buying expensive shoes, there's an image that you have to. I'm not about being these. I don't want to look like a toothpick on these fashion magazines or walking on the runway. I'm happy with being myself. I'm happy that I have natural beauty. I'm happy to wake up every single day looking as young as I do, I'm happy with who I am and 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 what I do. I'm just trying to improve myself. And while improving myself and loving myself, I'll be able to help others. If I can't do this for myself, I won't be able to help others. And that's basically what I want to do. And that's why I want to pursue. I'm trying right now to save money so that I can learn Reiki and become a Reiki practitioner. Because that is one thing that I know and feel I am supposed to do. I just want to help other people. I want to heal them. I want to get rid of this old mentality, this negative mentality that people have. Like the world is changing and we have to change with it. We have to evolve with it. And we can all live in peace and harmony. I truly believe that. I truly believe we've done it before and we'll do it again. But the world, everyone can live in peace and harmony. We really can do this. And That's my part, is learning Reiki, and first just taking care of myself, loving myself, appreciating myself. And while I'm doing that, I'm also helping others. I'm also helping my twin flame. But I'm also leaving my mark, my impression on this earth for people to remember. And I'm really glad for that. I'm really glad. I was always searching for my life's purpose, and I found it. Now everything's just starting to fall into place, and making this YouTube channel is one of the first things that I'm supposed to do, in making these videos and learning the cards. Like, everything now is just falling into place. The next thing is learning Reiki and being able to help others and heal others and bring them to a more positive, a more conscious, a more healthier life to lead, a happier life to lead, and go back to the simple things in life. I'm a very simple person, and I'm very humble, and you know, I I'm happy. I'm happy with that. And I just want to share this and help other people to be happy and live happily and think happy and be happy and feel pretty and beautiful, and not feel that they have to wear makeup every day. I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just saying, like, you don't have to wear makeup every day. You don't have to have the most expensive clothes. That's not how to that's not how your relationship will last long. That's not how your partner will stay with you. It's what's inside. Ignoring all of these magazines and whatever society's put out there that, says you're supposed to do this. No, I'm not for that. I'm not agreeing with that. I agree with being myself and being happy and being positive. And that's my way of, you know, going against the flow of everybody else. And that's what makes me me. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, and have a great night. Light and love, and I pray God and the angels in the universe look over all of us. Rest peacefully.